Greetings, welcome on my channel. So, how do we structure microservices? Basically, you start with monolith. You designed it pretty well. You use hexagonal, or if you'd like, clean onion architecture. It's modular, so like each module, for example, posts, news, whatever, has everything inside of it encapsulated. So it means you can always make it as a separate microservice without any issues. Then at some point of time you realize that okay, we need to start using microservices here. Okay, just think twice, but okay, if you understand that it's worth it, that like your cloud maintenance costs, for example, will be cheaper if you need a few separate microservices just to scale independently, separately. Okay, not a problem. You just create, just move, transfer, for example, your authorization, maybe something else you need. You make it as a separate service. You introduce like Kafka, RabbitMQ, for example, nuts, whatever you choose, you decide for such communications between services. And yes, you create your independent databases for each service, so if they need, I mean, a database at all, and start working with it. So generally, in my opinion and experience, really, like, even if you really do need microservices, usually a few of them is more than enough for you. Because the more microservices you have, the more expensive it is, the more complicated it is just to work with it, to maintain it, and so on. The like better developers you need, because not everyone has such skills, and so on. Yes, basically that's it. Pretty simple. I'm not gonna touch other approaches like direct API communication between different services. I don't recommend you to start with microservices, really, like, and I don't really recommend to have like a lot of microservices generally, to have more microservices than you really need to. And one more case, but it's a rare case, when you may need microservices. Usually it's applicable to Java, C# generally, to heavy enterprise projects. That your project might be too big itself, yes, too huge, that there is no computer, no service in this world yet which could just launch it. Yes, in such cases, yes, you really like may not have other options but to use microservices. But again, for the most part of projects, you don't really need them, or you may need just a few of them. So you start with a monolith project, designed it well. Then if you really like ever need to have some separate microservices, it wouldn't be a lot of just, I don't know, issues and so on, yes, to do it this way. So if you want, you can check it out on your own, such approaches like event-driven architecture and so on. There is a lot of information, a lot of courses on Udemy, for example, or Coursera. And yes, by the way, one more moment to consider, an API gateway. To me personally, I think there are more disadvantages than advantages about it, because it like, first of all, it's a single point of failure. If your API gateway dies, everything dies. Like, that's one of the biggest advantages of microservices. Generally, I don't like it. I don't like this idea. I don't like to have one more microservice just like to be like kind of router for the rest of your project. I admit that if you have too many microservices, yes, it may be less evil, but again, like, if you get by with a few microservices, in my opinion, you shouldn't use it at all, because as to me, as I see it, the core, like initial like first idea of microservices was to make each microservice independent so they don't depend on each other. Yes, and there is no place for an API gateway in that system, in that architecture generally. Yes, like I admit, if there are dozens, like hundreds of microservices, you really may need to consider creating an API gateway. It may be less evil, but again, in my opinion, if you can avoid it, just avoid. Stick to a few microservices. It may be a better solution for you, your team, your project, your company generally. So thanks for watching. I hope it was interesting. If so, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, acquaintances, and hope to see you soon. Bye.